Hello YouTube, Hoosier Archer here, and this is Thirsty Thursday. Even though the winter is creeping up on us, we can still enjoy a cold beer. And this one, this is another one that I have a bit of trepidation about, but not because of anything necessarily about it. It's because other people that I know that are uh, beer aficionados like myself, they've sort of tried to warn me off of Magic Hat. And this is number 9. And it's not quite pale ale. And it's 5.1% by volume. And it says ale with natural flavor. Magic Hat Brewing Company, South Burlington, Vermont. So, let's not beat around the bush. Oh, I think you can hear my furnace kicking on, just to let you know that it is indeed a little more than chilly outside. Or is that a little less than chilly? Smells like beer. Nothing special about the aroma. Running right along. They say not quite pale ale, and they're right. It's not quite an IPA, but it's quite like an IPA. But on a positive note, if this was an IPA, this would be a pretty good IPA. Most IPAs I find to be barely drinkable. I mean, yes, they are drinkable, but if you gave me a choice of something else, I'd pick it. There was that one IPA. If you watch all my videos, you'll see that I thought that IPA was. Oh, it was. You'll have to look. I can't remember now. I've only had 2.5 hours of sleep, so I beg your pardon. That was by choice. I closed where I work last night, which means I got home at about 4:30 in the morning, and I had a bunch of errands to run. And the earlier I got those errands done, it would be the better. And so I had a cup of coffee when I got home, and I went on the live stream with Harmony, um, who was streaming uh, Jam House Rock, which yippee-ki-yay, that's some good stuff. Anyway, so far I'm liking this. Oh, there was a back note I didn't care for. It's got a bad kind of bitterness on the back end. The kind of bitterness you get from some aspect of the brewing process actually burning something. But it's really, really subtle. You might not even notice it yourself. Let's try that again. Maybe that was just. No. Uh, the back end has a bitter finish that is on the negative side. Not terribly so, not off-putting, but there, something make you go a little bit. And I have to tell you, there's another aspect of that finish. It's reminiscent of soap. So that's not a good selling point, I would say. If you don't overly think what you're drinking, which I can't help but do, uh, this would probably be quite pleasant for you. Because if you just sip it the normal way, you don't get those soap notes and that burnt bitterness. I think this, they say Magic Hat, methinks they might be muggles. Okay. I think this might be a Thirsty Thursday first. I don't think I'm going to finish this. It's not terrible. It's just not good to me. Uh, I will give this I can't get over that soap. That essence of soap. I can't give this better than a 2.5. I wanted to like this too. It's not terrible. It's just not good. So when something is not as, I call this a beer that runs down the middle. Although this one does have some offensive notes to it that kind of push it toward the negative balance sheet. It's still, if you just sip it, drink it, it's fairly inoffensive, and it runs right down the middle. It's neither wholly terrible nor wholly enjoyable, but you can drink it. You know, it runs right down the middle. So that's a 2.5 on a scale of 1 to 5. 2.5's right down the middle. Some of you might like this. Some of you might hate this. I'm teetering back and forth on the fence. I try to fairly judge the things I have. I've been blessed so far. I haven't had any that I absolutely hated. Although Sweet Baby Jesus Chocolate Peanut Butter Stout was grotesquely disappointing. It wasn't horrific. You just couldn't taste the chocolate, and you barely could taste peanut butter. So if it's a chocolate peanut butter stout, you should have those notes in it. And it didn't. So it was disappointing. It wasn't terrible. But this, if I would have been in a bad mood when I drank this, this would have been poured down the sink. And it's not that bad, really. It's just not good. I guess I will be able to drink it. Now that drink, huh? Now that was weird. That's quite possibly the strangest flavor shift I've ever experienced with a beer. That went from banana to cotton candy to soap. Methinks they're not muggles. Me think Bertie Bott had something to do with this. Bertie Bott's every flavored ale. Banana to cotton candy to soap. And that's why I don't know if my face went to a faraway place for a second, but that's what I still can't give it more than a 2.5, even though that was an absolutely fascinating drink of beer. Banana to cotton candy. Wait a minute, there were two others, but they went by so quickly. Banana caramel, no, banana to cotton candy to caramel to flour to soap. Bertie Bott had something to do with this, I think. There's another thing that I didn't point out. This thing has big bubbles. Maybe that got my mind thinking about soap, because it was like when you put the dish soap in the sink, in the water when you're going to wash the dishes, and the bubbles are big, and but then that's the kind of bubbles this had. It didn't have beer type bubbles, it had soap type bubbles. But that back end, that burnt nature of that back end, that's the thing that's making me keep it a 2.5. But I did finish it. Try it for yourself if you're not afraid to try new things. I drank this at the in spite of friends warning me off of Magic Hat beers. I'd say that overall this is a drinkable beer, but expect some weird things. And hey, it is called Magic Hat. It is from Magic Hat, and it is called number 9. So, and it's not quite pale ale. They don't quite have enough wit on here from if they're going to do a. Oh, is that upside down? Huh. Not enough light to read this. And I don't have my little flashlight with me. Oh, they have some notes about it. Soft, dry, crisp, refreshing. None of those things are true. Ale whose mysterious and unusual palate will swirl across your tongue with notes of fruit and a local hoppy bitterness. A floral hop bitterness. Well, it was a burnt bitterness. Beyond that, we will dare not tell you more, for with each sip, mysteries are revealed and still more questions raised. Why number 9? Why indeed? Okay, they are as pretentious as I thought they were. Maybe. Magic Hat number 9. Not a number 9 for me, not that close to 10. 2.5 runs right down the middle. There's positive notes and there's negative notes, and they cancel each other out, and it runs right down the middle. It doesn't run right down the middle. It keeps going like this. Bad, it's good. It's bad, it's good. It's bad, it's good. The net effect is it goes right down the middle. So, that's going to do it for this Sunday Stump. You wouldn't believe how long I've had this hat. Anyway, I believe that if you can recognize that tune, that movie came out when I got this hat, I think. Anyway, God bless and happy trails, and watch your top knot.